What's good, YouTube? What's good, people? What's going on? How is everybody doing? How's everybody doing out there? I guess you guys are having a wonderful trading week and you're doing what you have to do just to stay 1% better than you were yesterday. This is your boy Harlem and I'm back with another video. Today's video gonna be could be a different type of video, right? I'll be talking about the NAS, but this video will be more I'll be talking more and I'll be breaking down more on the charts, right? So before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe and share and turn on the notifications so you can get notified every time I upload new videos concerning Forex or entrepreneurship or just lifestyle in general. And to sign up with the broker that I use with the link on my description, Quick Trade. You guys know what is the NAS. If you don't know what the NAS is, you guys know that Nasdaq is our top is a stock which has our top 100 big companies in the United States. Stocks that we're talking about, stocks like Tesla, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Nike. Okay, I'm not sure about Nike, but like, yeah, some type of stocks like that, like the Apple and the Google and the Alphabet A and everything like that, right? So I don't want to talk more about the background or where the Nasdaq comes from, but I just want to let you guys understand that Nasdaq is a hard pair to trade. But if you know how to trade, or if you have a trading plan, if you have a trading system, or if you are patient and disciplined, Nasdaq wouldn't be as difficult as it seems, right? You will lose trades there and there, but what's important is that you need to win more than you lose more. So without further ado, people, I need to explain and break down why I say NAS is easy to trade, but is a hard trading pay, which you can sign up with or commit yourself to. So when we now break down the NAS, technically, you can simply tell that our structure was cleanly in a downtrend, right? Price has been creating lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, lower lows, right? Until there came a point where price started moving sideways, right? We now had this intraday zone, right? And we now had this intraday lows. So when you can clearly see that from a downtrend that price is kind of like moving sideways, right? We're failing to break above our support and we're failing to break below our support and we're failing to break above our resistance. So obviously you guys know it that most of the time when price is in a downtrend and we have a certain point where price moves sideways, there's two things that can happen. Price will either break above to be bullish or break below to continue bearish, right? So in such terms, all you need to wait on, or all you need to be careful about, is where will price break? Are we going to break above or are we going to break below? So when you now see the NAS, you can clearly, when we now look at the NAS, we know that price has created this resistance. Price is reacting on our resistance and price is reacting on our support, right? So you know that you need to wait for a breakout, either bullish or bearish, right? So when you now continue moving, you see that the NAS that what broke above. We had this bullish momentum candlestick, which broke above. So from this breakout, we need to wait for a retest in order to continue moving to the upside. That's just textbook Forex. This is just textbook Forex, what we always work on and what always happens in the markets, right? So well, you now clearly see that, okay, price had a break above. We now have a breakout, right? All you need to wait for is for price to have a retest to continue bullish, right? And now you can see that price did have a retest, right? So where you could have entered, it entirely depends on you as a trader or you aligning with your trading plans, right? In this instance, I only trade the London and the New York session, right? When I look at the time, I can clearly see that we were trading on our New York. And this time, 15, and usually on this time, 1700, I don't trade. Most of the time, I don't trade on this time, right? But now, because now price did what moved to the upside, when you now see that, okay, price did what continued moving to the upside, you can clearly see that we now had a breakout. Now price broke out of a higher high. This previous higher high, price violated this higher high, creating a new higher high. So when you now can clearly see that price was in a downtrend, and price moved sideways, and price broke above. So meaning from price trading bearish and moving sideways and breaking bullish, we now are looking forward for our bullish direction or our bullish signals, because we now know that price was in a downtrend, moved sideways, and broke above, not below, right? So now when you clearly see that, okay, price broke out of a higher high, price broke our higher high, right? And created what? This new higher high, and came back again and created this higher high, and came back for a higher low. So when you now see that price was in a push, in an exhaustion, we now know that price is trading bullish, right? The second thing was what? Price did what? Continued moving to the upside. This was our second push phase, right? This was our second push phase, another higher high in an exhaustion phase, a new higher low. So when you now look at this, you can clearly see that we violated our first higher high. We created the second higher high. We now have our second higher low, because this was our first higher low, and this was our second higher low, and this was our third higher low, right? But we don't confirm this one is our third higher low, because this is our higher high. We would say this is our higher low, right? So when you now see that price has continued moving to the upside, creating another higher high and pulling back, creating this higher low, we now know that we do have this higher low, and we do have this higher low, right? In these terms, price has created some type of double bottom, right? So from this exhaustion phase, so from when you now look at this in these terms, you can clearly see that price created a higher low and pushed to the upside, came back to our previous higher low, failing to break below this higher low, and doing what? And trading above this higher low. So when you now see that price broke above the higher low, price came back for a retest, or price pulled back to our very same higher low, creating some sort of double bottom, that clearly confirms to you that price is still bullish, right? Well, you now see the price is still bullish. Price continues moving to the upside. So when price continues moving to the upside, there's two things that you need to be mindful of, or there's two things that you need to look at, right? You will either wait for price to break above a higher low, a higher high, right? Or wait for price to create a higher low before you can put your money to work, right? Two reasons, or two purposes into you having to execute such directions, right? So when you now see that price is continuing moving to the upside, breaking above this higher high, when you now break above this higher high, creating a new higher high, you can clearly see that price had an exhaustion phase and a push phase, creating another higher high and pulling back to the downside, creating our higher low. So when you now see that, okay, we created our all-time high, we created our current price higher high, and we now are pulling back or exhausting, creating this higher low formation. All you need to wait for now is for price to either break above this higher high to continue bullish, or wait for momentum and depletion on our higher low formation, anticipating a continuation to the upside, price creating a new higher high, right? So when price creates this new higher high, breaking above this previous higher high, you now clearly know that price will continue moving to the upside. But what reasons do you have that price will continue moving to the upside? We need to wait for a higher low formation, or we need to wait for price to pull back, or to give us signs that we will continue moving to the upside, and price continues to the upside, creating another higher high, right? So now you can clearly see that from where we started this whole move, you can clearly see that from here, this is where we could have took our buy. This is where we could have took our buy. This is where we could have took our buy. This is where we could have took our buy. And now looking at this current price, when price created this higher high, we're pulling back, creating another higher low. So when now price creates a higher low, you now know it that you need to put your money to work simply by doing what? By waiting for momentum and depletion, and look forward for anticipation of a continuation to the upside, creating another higher high, right? Looking at what? Creating another higher high, breaking above our previous higher high. Now price has created this new higher high. All you need to see is to just put something like this to confirm to you, or to show you that, you know what, we did break above, right? So when now price broke above this higher high, when now price broke above this higher high, we need to wait for what? For a retest or a pullback or a higher low formation to look to be bullish. Do you guys understand that? So when now price had this breakout, we now need to wait for what? For a retest. So you can clearly see that price was pulling back, right? Until price came back here, you can clearly see that price failed doing what? Price failed continuing or breaking above this higher high, creating this higher lows and this higher highs, which couldn't break above this previous higher high, right? All you need to wait for is for price to pull back or to come back to your zone where it has to retest the previous higher high, and look for signs for momentum and depletion and look to continue moving to the upside, right? So when you now look at something like this, you can clearly see that price did do it. Price did react to this very same zone. Price did come back to this previous higher high, right? And price started having depletion. So from price being bearish, we now are moving sideways. From a bear momentum, we now are having bear depletion, and we can clearly see that we had what? Bullish momentum. So we do what? We continue bullish, right? So when price continued bullish, so when you now continue with this direction, you can clearly see that price did come back and moved to the upside. Moving to the upside, we couldn't break past our previous higher high, and you're now reacting off of previous intraday highs, right? And price did what? Continued moving to the downside, coming back again to our very same higher high and giving us signs that we are failing to break below this higher high or this support, because now price is reacting off this zone multiple times. All you need to wait for now is for momentum and depletion, and momentum, and continue bullish, right? But unfortunately, price did what? Price started trading below. So when price trades below, so when now price broke below, when we now have a break below, all we need to wait for from price breaking below is for price to retest below and continue bullish and continue bearish. But the tricky part is our overall direction or our overall movement, we are bullish. So if price has this deeper pullback, always remember that when price creates a deeper pullback, there's two things that we might experience when price creates a deeper pullback, people. There's two things that we might experience. Price might continue moving further to the downside, one, or price might do what? Price might pull back and continue moving to the upside. So when you now clearly see that with this deeper pullback, price did what? Price continued moving to the upside. And again, we broke below off of our what? Off of our zone. So when you now see that, okay, we now have this very same zone again that price has created, and we're now failing to break below this very same zone. We're breaking out and we're breaking above. We're breaking out and we're breaking above. All you need to wait for, I repeat, is for momentum and depletion, and look to continue with your direction. So when you now remember that price created this higher high, right? This current price higher high, and we haven't broke above this current price higher high, and price is kind of like doing what? Price is looking for momentum into looking to create what? A new high, right? When now price came back to our very same higher high before we broke out of our higher high, you can clearly see that we started having multiple rejections. Price started rejecting our higher high, meaning price couldn't break above, or price was failing to break above our higher high. And when something like this happens, when price creates a higher high and fails breaking above that higher high, you need to wait for depletion and momentum and look to be bearish, right? Intraday, because we're day trading, people. I'm sharing day trading information. You need to be aware of that, right? So now you can clearly see that, okay, price reacted off of our support. Yes, there's off of our resistance or our all-time high. Yes, there's nothing that we can do. But all you need to be mindful for, or all you need to wait for, is for either price to give you signs of a continuation to the downside, or for price to simply break above our higher high and look for a new higher high and a higher low formation to continue to the upside. And you can clearly see that price did have that pushing to the upside, breaking out and coming back for a retest, higher high, higher low, and continue to the upside, higher high, higher low, and continue to the upside, higher high, higher low, continuing to the upside, higher high, pulling back again to our higher low, giving us another double bottom, right? Looking for other reasons into continuing to the upside. But in this instance, we could have lost this trade because price still continued moving to the downside. When you now see that, okay, price still continued moving to the downside, we came back again to our all-time high, and we started reacting off of our all-time high, off of our zone, our all-time high zone. We're now reacting off of our all-time high zone. All you need to wait for now, all you need to be prepared for. And when you now look at this in a bigger picture, price started moving sideways from creating this highs and creating this lows that we created. Price is now moving sideways. And when price moves in a sideways movement, there's two things that you need to wait for, either a bullish or bearish break out and continue with the direction that you took and look to continue with the momentum, or the direction that price has broke out, either above or below, right? So now price at a breakout, when you clearly look at this, price at a breakout, boom, breaking out and breaking back. So this was a breakout and a retest inside our zone, right? And price did what? Continued to the upside, breaking above our highs and coming back to create this higher low, and pushed to the upside with another higher high, and came back for another higher low, pushing again, another higher high, right? So when now price pushes again for another higher high, we need to wait for what? For higher low formation, and look for what? For price to create another higher high, and exhausting, creating a higher low formation, looking for price to create another higher high. Same thing, another deeper pullback, which is like a deeper pullback, like I spoke on previous structures that I showed you. When price has a deeper pullback, you now know that we are having a deeper higher low formation. Price will continue moving further or stronger to the upside. And as you can clearly see, price created this higher high and pulled back, creating another higher low, right? And did what? Continued, creating another higher high and another higher low, and pushing further to the upside, creating this higher high, right? So when price now created this higher high, you can clearly see that we did pull back, creating a higher low, and pushed again to the upside, creating a higher high, right? And exhausting, creating a higher low, right? And again, price did what? Continued to the upside, creating a higher high, and again exhausting, creating a higher low. So now, people, when you now see the structure or this direction, you can clearly see that price was cleanly in a uptrend, or price was moving in a uptrend. And all you need to be mindful for, it's once price breaks above a certain high, you need to wait for a retest or an exhaustion phase before you continue moving to the upside. Do you guys get that? Do you guys get that? So this is our guys, like you guys saw everything that I shared and everything that I broke down. I didn't want to take too long on this video, but all I wanted to share is the importance of looking at your structures and understanding where the direction is going in a bigger, like looking at the bigger picture and understanding where price is moving. Are we either moving to the upside or are we moving to the downside? In this instance, I was just sharing how to trade, like just an uptrend, or rather would I say a bullish structure, right? I will share how to trade a bear structure if you guys feel like I didn't share for the bear side, but you guys know it that if price is bullish, if price moves in higher highs and in higher lows when it's bullish, it will do the same thing when it's bearish, but creating lower lows and lower highs. Do you guys get that? So that's my breakdown on the NAS, and this is what I wanted to share. I will break down more, and I will share more videos like this where I talk and I break down, right? So you guys can get the bigger picture or understand what am I really talking about. But before I end the video, don't forget to like and subscribe and share and turn on the notification bell so you can get notified every time I upload new videos concerning Forex and entrepreneurship, or to hit my line when you're looking for a training course or anything Forex related, or to mostly sign up with the broker that I use with the link on my description or in my panel. Quick trade. Without further ado, people, I hope you enjoyed and I hope you took something from this video. And if you reached to this point in this video, you've just received gems and you got some nuggets concerning Forex, mostly Nasdaq. We're signing out.